this oversized ghetto blaster.
Cartoon Review. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have a long history with the characters and the franchise. I honestly can't remember a point before the TMNT, as it's one of those franchises that have been around just about my entire life. It's almost like I've been a fan my entire life as well. While the franchise has had its ups and downs, as most franchises tend to do, it's primarily been great and has been a big part of pop culture history for a long time now. One of the biggest and most important aspects of the franchise has been its cartoon series. The US is currently on its third long-running cartoon series for the franchise, and while the original comic book is very important, the 1980s cartoon cemented the TMNT in pop culture greatness. The original cartoon was goofy and not very serious, but it was also fun and extremely enjoyable, and kids loved the show. I know I did. Every iteration of the TMNT cartoon is great in its own way. Whether you like the somewhat more serious tone of the 2003 series, or all the great stuff the 2012 series offers, or the goofiness of the original show, in my opinion, they're all great in their own way, but the newer series owe a lot to the original one. It added so much to the TMNT universe that became mainstays of the franchise, like their love of pizza and their colored bandanas. The original show was only intended to be a 5-episode miniseries, but the producers of the cartoon knew that they'd made something great, so they went on and made more episodes, which led to movies and video games. From one small comic came something that went on to become something that generations of fans still love after so many years. But like I said, the original miniseries really cemented the TMNT into pop culture greatness. And since I started making videos, it's something that I knew I was going to talk about. And I figured no better time than the present, so let's get into it. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, and first appeared in the comic they published called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course. The idea came from a drawing Eastman sketch. Peter liked the idea, so he drew his own version of it, but Eastman had to outdo Peter, so he drew 4 turtles with different weapons. Those drawings and the ideas that came from them evolved and became the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The two decided to turn their idea into a comic book, used money from a tax refund and a loan from Eastman's uncle to self-publish 3,000 copies of a single-issue comic story. The comic was intended to be a parody of several popular comics at the time, such as Daredevil, and at first they thought they would only make one issue, but it was so popular that they decided to make several more. After the Turtles started to become more popular, Mark Friedman from Surge Licensing convinced Eastman and Peter to let him license the TMNT. They agreed to let him license the Turtles, and jokingly told him to go make them $1 million. Friedman then contacted Playmate Toys, which at the time was a small California toy company. The company was interested in making action figures for the comic, but thought the toys would not sell well, as the characters only had a cult following. So Playmates told Eastman, Peter, and Friedman if they could get a TV deal, then they would produce the toy line for it. They were able to get a 5-part miniseries, which was written and developed by David Weiss and Patty Howe. The miniseries was animated by Toei Animation in Japan and produced by Mortal Kombat Wolf Swanson Incorporated. The show premiered on December 14, 1987, and in the summer of 1998, the first series of Ninja Turtle action figures hit the shelves. The miniseries was not popular at first. It repeated 3 times before it became a hit. With the show now a hit and the toys selling well, the show became syndicated and was picked up and backed by Group W, who funded more episodes. The show then went network on CBS, where it lasted 10 seasons. The last new episodes and the final season aired in 1996. Thanks to a super popular cartoon show and toy line, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were cemented in pop culture history.
Spoilers!
The series begins with a reporter named April O'Neil, who is doing a story on a crime wave happening in New York. After finishing her report, she is chased by a street gang. She tries to escape in the sewers, but literally hits a wall. Luckily, she is saved by 4 big human-like talking turtles. They take her to their lair, where she meets their master, a rat named Splinter. There, he tells her their origin story. Splinter was once a man named Hamato Yoshi, who was exiled from his ninja clan in Japan after Orokusaki pinned him to the wall so he could not bow before his sensei, which was seen as an insult. When Yoshi pulled out the knife, it was seen as an attack on his sensei, and he was banished for it. Yoshi moved to New York and ended up living in the sewers. There he found 4 turtles that were accidentally dropped into the sewers. One day Yoshi returned home to find the turtles covered in a mysterious ooze. The ooze caused the turtles to transform into humanoids, while Yoshi becomes a humanoid rat, as the last creature he touched was a rat. Yoshi starts going by Splinter and adopts the 4 turtles as his sons and trains them in the ninja arts. He names the 4 turtles after his favorite Italian Renaissance artists, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo. After the story, the turtles team up with April to discover who the thieves committing the crimes are. During the investigation, April is kidnapped. When the turtles go to rescue her, they discover ninja robots. The turtles defeat the robots to save April, while a mysterious figure watches them. After looking at the robot's uniform, Splinter discovers it belongs to the Foot Clan. Now aware of the Foot Clan, they track down the clan's hideout, the Technodrome, a giant rolling fortress created by Krang, an alien from Dimension X. Splinter is captured, and the turtles enter the Technodrome to save him. They find Splinter hanging in a room and encounter Oroku Saki, not going by Shredder, who reveals that he was the one who threw the mutagen in the sewers, hoping that it would poison and kill Yoshi. The turtles fight off the robots and Bebop and Rocksteady, 2 gang members that were mutated to fight the turtles. They manage to free Splinter and escape the Technodrome, where April gives them a ride home after they have captured Bebop and Rocksteady. Shredder opens a portal to Dimension X, letting out 3 teenage aliens, the Neutrinos, and 2 of Krang's Stone Warriors. The Warriors release a weather machine that causes havoc while the Neutrinos befriend the turtles. The Neutrinos tell the turtles about Krang and his backstory of being banished from Dimension X, and the turtles realize that Krang is supplying Shredder with his advanced technology. Then the turtles and the Neutrinos team up and send the Stone Warriors back through the portal. The Neutrinos also go back home through the portal, and the turtles destroy the weather machine. After the incident, Shredder agrees to give Krang a body to destroy the turtles, and Leonardo vows to find Shredder. In the final episode of the season, Shredder contacts the turtles, telling them that he has created a retro mutagen gun that can turn Splinter back into a human, and challenges him to come get it. Splinter decides to go get it alone, as it could be used to turn the turtles back into ordinary animals. Shredder finally completes Krang's body, while the turtles and Splinter break into the Technodrome. While the turtles fight foot robots, Splinter goes to find the retro mutagen gun. He is able to find it, but it turns out to be a trap so Shredder can fight Splinter. The turtles meanwhile go to stop Krang from opening a portal to Dimension X. Krang uses his new robot body to grow gigantic and chases the turtles to the surface. There, Donatello shows up with a new invention, the Turtle Blimp, which, with Leonardo, they use the blimp to enter Krang's body. Inside the body, they manage to find and destroy the growth mechanism. Krang, now back to his original size, calls Shredder for help. Shredder traps Splinter and goes to help Krang. Splinter is able to escape the trap, and arrives right on time to stop Shredder from using the retro mutagen gun on the turtles, destroying the gun in the process and losing his only chance of becoming human. Splinter and the turtles then chase Krang and Shredder to the Technodrome. There, Donatello reverses the portal to Dimension X, so it sucks in the Technodrome and everyone inside it, trapping them in Dimension X. With Krang and Shredder defeated, the turtles celebrate, but Splinter warns the turtles that they probably haven't seen the last of Krang and the Shredder. The opening to the show is amazing, and it's nothing less than iconic. The theme song was composed by Chuck Lorre and Dennis Brown, and they did an amazing job on it. Not only is it catchy, but it does what I believe every opening to a show should accomplish, which is giving us an understanding of what the show is about and its characters. Just from the intro, we know that the turtles fight Shredder, Splinter taught them the ninja arts, Leonardo's the leader, Donatello's the smart one, Raphael's the cool jerky one, and Michelangelo is the fun easygoing one. It's just amazing considering most of the lyrics of the song are just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles repeated over and over again. The characters in this show don't really develop, and they pretty much stay the same from the first episode to the last, especially in this first season. The 4 main heroes of the show are of course the Turtles. Leonardo, voiced by Cam Clark, wears the blue mask, and his weapons are 2 katana. He is the leader of the team, and tends to be the most serious, level-headed member of the brothers. Donatello, voiced by Barry Gordon, wears the purple mask, and his weapon is a bow stab. He is the smart one. He acts like the scientist/inventor who creates the gadgets and vehicles the Turtles use. He's my favorite of the 4 Turtles. I've always liked him since I was a little kid, and I still do. Raphael, voiced by Rob Paulson, wears the red mask, and his weapon are 2 sai. He's normally portrayed as the hothead, easy to anger, and quick to get in a fight. But in the original cartoon, he is a jokester who is always making sarcastic and witty remarks. Michelangelo, voiced by Townsend Coleman, wears the orange mask, and his weapons are 2 nunchucks, but later he mainly uses a grappling hook. He is the goofy, fun-loving party animal of the team, who uses a lot of the show's catchphrases like Cowabunga. The Turtle supporting cast are Hamada Yoshi, aka Master Splinter, voiced by Peter Renaday. He is the Turtles' sensei and father figure. He mentors, trains, and guides the Turtles in ninjutsu and in life. He was once human and part of the Foot, but due to various schemes by the Shredder, he was exiled from the Foot and transformed into a rat. April O'Neil, voiced by Renee Jacobs, is a redhead TV reporter from Channel 6 News. She discovers the Turtles and befriends them. She is the Turtles' connection to humanity, and she is frequently kidnapped by the villains of the show so the Turtles can go rescue her. But in this first season, she's only kidnapped twice, and it's pretty helpful to the Turtles. Like, she gets them info, and even drives the Turtle van into a battle once. And lastly, the villains consist of Orokusaki, aka Shredder, voiced by the late great James Avery. He is the main antagonist of the show. He was a member of the Foot with Splinter, but became jealous of him, so he framed him, which caused him to become exiled. After Splinter's exile, he took control of the Foot Clan and transformed it into a crime army. After he finds out the Turtles were trained by Splinter, he becomes obsessed with destroying them. Krang, voiced by Pat Fraley, is an intelligent, brain-like alien from Dimension X who requires a robot body to get around. He acts as Shredder's benefactor, providing him with technology to carry out his various schemes, like the foot robots. He does this so Shredder will make him a new body. I'm not really sure why he couldn't do it himself, but, whatever. Rocksteady, voiced by Cam Clark, and Bebop, voiced by Barry Gordon, are Shredder's dumb henchmen. They were originally members of a street gang before working for Shredder, and were mutated into a rhino warthog by him. There are of course other characters in the show, but these are the main ones that show up in every episode or almost every episode. Like I said, the characters don't really develop in this show, and stay the same from the beginning to the end. Not to say that they are bad characters, just that they don't develop through their adventures. The miniseries is really well done. While there are some animation issues, like I noticed a few times the Turtles would have the wrong color bandanas, or the voice would not match the Turtles that were speaking, and also the pacing could have been a little better, but overall everything is solid, and it holds up pretty well. And the miniseries does a great job setting up the rest of the series as well. It does a great job explaining the Turtles' origins, and setting up all the dynamics, like April being a reporter and constantly getting in trouble, and Krang and Shredder teaming up to try to take over the world, and how the mutagen can be used to create more mutants. The first 5 episodes feel like they are a bit more mature than a lot of the episodes that come after. Like, the later episodes can be very goofy, and Shredder and Krang never come off as a threat. These episodes are still somewhat goofy, but more reined in. It never feels like the Turtles are in real danger, but Shredder seems a bit more capable, and not a joke of a villain. The story is also fairly cohesive. While one episode feels like filler, it still adds to the overall story. Like I said, the pacing wasn't always great, but the show did have a solid story from beginning to end. We get a decent beginning, middle, and end to the story. There were also moments that felt like they wanted to have a deeper story, but pulled back as the show was intended for kids. Like when Splinter sacrifices his humanity to save his sons, I thought that was a great moment, but it could have been handled in a better manner, so it could have had a bigger emotional impact. But I understand why that happened. The show was created in a time where a cartoon was meant to be simple entertainment, so cartoons of that time rarely got into deep emotional stuff. Especially not like the cartoons of today, like Steven Universe or Avatar. I still love this show. I had fun watching these 5 episodes. It really just helped me appreciate how the show helped establish a franchise I love. And I definitely recommend watching these 5 episodes. They might not meet a lot of today's standards for cartoons, but they are still really good. And if you're a fan of the franchise and you haven't seen them, you're missing out. And I think even if you're a newcomer to the franchise, you'll still enjoy them. Well, that's it for now. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Like, are you a fan of the Ninja Turtles? What's your favorite cartoon version? The original, the 2003 series, or the 2012 series? Alright, now with this adventure over, it's time to grab a slice of pizza and celebrate. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you like this review, I also made a review on the Legend of Zelda cartoon. Check it out. And again, thanks for watching.